What if I told you that by the time you finally hang up your work boots at 65, you might only have 13 months of good health left to enjoy all those retirement dreams you've been saving for? Like finding out your favorite all-you-can-eat buffet closes just minutes after you've been seated. Don't panic yet, but do keep watching, because understanding this hidden retirement trap could save your golden years. Before continuing to watch, take 10 seconds to write down 3 activities you absolutely want to enjoy in retirement while you still have good health. First, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from today? Wherever you're joining us from, this information applies to all planning their retirement journey. As someone with over 2 decades of financial advisory experience, I've witnessed a disturbing pattern that almost nobody talks about. It's like that elephant in the room that everyone steps around but nobody acknowledges. Except this elephant might just stomp all over your retirement dreams. The World Health Organization collects data on something called healthy life expectancy. Think of it as your warranty period, the time you can reasonably expect to live with good health before serious issues arise. A data specialist named Jeff Nobbs has compiled this information in a way that's easier to digest than your grandmother's fruitcake. Let's examine what this research tells us about when people typically lose their good health across different nations. Japan, 74.1 years. Singapore, 73.6 years. South Korea, 73.1 years. Switzerland, 72.5 years. Cyprus, 72.4 years. Israel, 72.4 years. Spain, 72.1 years. France, 72.1 years. Iceland, 72 years. Italy, 71.9 years. Surely the United States must be next, right? Perhaps just slightly behind these countries. The United States, 66.1 years. Let that sink in like a stone dropping into a still pond. The average American can expect good health until about 66 years old, just 13 months after the traditional retirement age. It's like spending decades saving up for a dream vacation, only to arrive and discover you can only stay for the weekend. According to Gallup research, Americans are actually retiring later than they used to. Ages 40 to 44. Only 1% retired. Ages 45 to 49. 2% retired. Ages 50 to 54. 6% retired. Ages 55 to 59. 11% retired, down from nearly 20% in 2007. Ages 60 to 64. 32% retired, down from 41% previously. Ages 65 to 69. About 67% retired, meaning a third are still working. Ages 70 to 74. 83% retired. Ages 75 plus. 88% retired. We're working longer while our bodies are giving out sooner. That's like running toward a finish line that keeps moving further away while you're gradually losing your ability to run. Not exactly the victory lap most of us envision for our golden years. Let me share a story about Ben and Julia that perfectly illustrates why timing matters so much in retirement. Ben and Julia were like many American couples, hard-working professionals who followed the traditional advice to keep their noses to the grindstone until 65. But in 2020, something unexpected happened that changed their perspective entirely. When COVID hit, Ben's company offered early retirement packages to employees over 55. At 57, Ben was eligible but hesitant. "We weren't mentally prepared to make such a big change," Julia told me during our consultation. "We thought we needed at least 5 more years." But as the pandemic wore on, they noticed Ben's stress levels affecting his health. His blood pressure was climbing, and Julia caught him rubbing his left arm one evening, a warning sign that sent chills down her spine. Ben's father had suffered his first heart attack at 58. "That was our wake-up call," Ben explained. "We realized we were playing a dangerous game of chicken with my health." They decided to take the early retirement package and adjust their lifestyle accordingly. They'd been fortunate enough to follow what they later learned were the 3 rules for retirement success: living below their means, owning just one modest home, and staying married. They've been together for 45 years now. 3 years into retirement at age 62, they've hiked the Appalachian Trail, taken up ballroom dancing, volunteered at their local animal shelter, and spent precious time with their grandchildren. Most importantly, Ben's health has improved significantly. I shudder to think what might have happened if we'd waited until 65, Julia confided. When Ben's brother retired at 66, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's just 4 months later. All those fishing trips he planned, they never happened. Ben added, "We're not wealthy by any means, but we're rich in experiences. Some of our friends are still working, planning exotic vacations for someday, but their knees are already giving out. They can barely play a round of golf without pain medication. So what can we do about this concerning gap between retirement age and health decline? Let me share 3 concrete steps that could transform your retirement outlook. 1. Invest in your health like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Your financial portfolio gets plenty of attention, but your health portfolio deserves even more. Think of your body as a classic car that needs to stay roadworthy for a cross-country journey. Just as you wouldn't put cheap gas in a vintage Mustang, don't fuel your body with a drive-through dollar menu. Consider these investments. Quality nutrition. Yes, it costs more, but so does premium gasoline. Regular cardiovascular exercise. Aim for at least 3 30-minute sessions weekly. Strength training to maintain muscle mass. You don't need to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, just strong enough to lift your grandkids or your golf bag without wincing. Remember, you can have all the money in the world, but you can't buy back good health once it's gone. As we say in Texas, don't wait until the well runs dry to value water. 2. Develop a financial strategy for earlier retirement. Here's where most Americans go wrong. They aim too low and too late. Instead of asking, "How can I retire at 65?" start asking, "What would it take to retire at 55?" The answer might surprise you. Follow these 3 golden rules that have helped thousands of my clients. Rule number 1. Spend less than you earn, no matter how much you earn. Believe it or not, over half of Americans making $100,000 plus save nothing. As my grandfather used to say, it's not about how much hay you harvest, it's about how much you keep in the barn for winter. Rule number 2. 1 house. A vacation home might sound appealing, but with today's Airbnb options, owning multiple properties often creates more financial drain than pleasure. Property taxes, maintenance headaches, and HOA fees can turn your dream cabin into a nightmare for your retirement fund. One client told me his vacation home was like owning a boat. The 2 happiest days were when he bought it and when he sold it. Rule number 3. 1 spouse. I say this with a touch of humor, but divorce is one of the biggest retirement plan wreckers I've seen. I'm not suggesting anyone stay in an unhealthy relationship, but investing in your marriage like you invest in your 401k can pay enormous dividends. My wife and I have weathered some storms that would make a hurricane look like a spring shower, but counseling helped us navigate through. Marriage maintenance is much cheaper than marriage dissolution. 3. Master the 90% rule of investment success. Here's the financial secret most people miss. Contrary to popular belief, stock picking determines less than 10% of your investment success. What matters most, accounting for about 90% of your results, is asset allocation. How much of your nest egg should be in stocks versus bonds? This isn't a one-size-fits-all answer, which is why working with an experienced financial professional makes sense. They've seen hundreds of retirement scenarios play out and can help you avoid emotional decisions during market turbulence. Remember the market crash of 2008 to 2009 when the S&P 500 dropped nearly 60%? That's like watching your retirement savings shrink from $500,000 to $200,000 virtually overnight. Many do-it-yourself investors panicked and sold at the bottom, locking in those losses permanently. An experienced advisor helps you weather those storms with a properly allocated portfolio. Here's a sobering thought to motivate action. By age 60, most people have less than 1,000 weeks of active, healthy life ahead of them. That's not even 19 years. As they say in New England, winter's coming, and it don't care if you've chopped enough wood. When you look at retirement through this lens, every week becomes precious. Do you really want to spend 260 more of those weeks, 5 years, sitting in rush hour traffic or dealing with workplace stress when you don't financially need to? As you're watching this video, think about how many of those precious weeks you want to spend working versus living your retirement dreams. This isn't meant to depress you, it's meant to inspire action. As I wrap up this video report, I hope I've challenged your thinking about the traditional retirement timeline. The gap between our retirement age and our health expectancy represents a crisis that few are talking about, but one that we all must face. Whether you have heart issues in your family like I do, my uncle died at 56 and my father had his first heart attack at 57, or you simply want to enjoy your hard-earned retirement while you still have the health to do so, the time to act is now. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is today. The same goes for reimagining your retirement timeline. If you found this information valuable, please hit that subscribe button below. Our channel is dedicated to helping you navigate the golden years journey with clear-eyed realism and practical strategies.